Alrighty. Just 1 minute to get everything set up. Alright. We'll wait for people to start tuning in. Anyways, for now, the title is Live with a Special Guest. 6039, would you like to come on now?
Yes, hello.
Many of you know Grand Trunk Western 6039 UNC. He's here with me, and he'll probably try and help me point some stuff out along the way while I restore this. Ethan, hello. Alrighty, well, I might as well reveal to you guys what the heck we're doing. So, Canadian Pacific. This thing randomly quit working. I have a theory that it's the reverser unit. Hello, Ethan. But, yeah. Hopefully we could get it fixed. If the reverser is broken, I might have to get a new one, but who really knows? Anyway, let me tilt the computer like that. Alrighty. First part is taking these two screws out. Might I mention this is old and the warranty is expired. So if you're the kind who really cares about not damaging your old Lionels, get this to a professional. I am no professional. This is my first time restoring a Lionel anything, but it doesn't work. I'll put it on the track later for you guys to see. 6039, would you like to intervene and talk for a while?
Yeah, sure, I could do that. Well, what I'm working on at the moment is just a kit bash. I'm bored.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's usually what I do.
Now, here's the fun part. This is a really, for those of you who may not know, Pullmore motor. Pullmore motors are essentially oversized. Oh, geez. They're really oversized pancakes. Anyway. Yeah, they're pancake.
With a pancake motor. Oh, I have to deal with those when I'm fixing Tycros all the time because they cause problems.
Heh, who needs a warranty? You understand that, Ethan. Yes, who needs a warranty? Now, you want to see the gear worm on this? I have a feeling that's the original grease it had when it left the factory. And the commutator is, you can't tell it was copper at a time because it's essentially black. All right, I'm going to have to move some stuff around so that I could get to my very important stuff, like Q-tips. So, put that there. But, geez. It's metal, at least. I'll give it that. On the other hand, now I have to move everything around. Paper towels.
Rip.
Yep. Rip is right. Is anybody else working on something while I'm working on this? Oh, geez. No, that's bad. Rust on the commutator. Great. If all else fails, I might have to do this off screen, or I might have to go and grab something so that I can do it. But let's see. Anyway, tools I'm using are a Gerber multi-tool. Very good tool. Works on just about everything. This is wrong. Don't try this at home. using a sander on your old model trains. Bad idea. Don't try this, kids.
I mean, I've used sponges before. I mean, sponges are relatively, well, they're not very hard on commutators, but they still are slightly hard. I mean, just a word of advice: don't ever use sandpaper on motor brushings because it will essentially brush the brushes away.
Yeah, you could see the wiring. This is essentially an oversized Tyco. Really. It's got good magnets at least, but it is absolutely destroyed. At least I can make it a dummy unit now.
I've encountered some pretty bad stuff before. So.
Alright, Ethan,
Yeah.
I am going to prototype some ultralight gliders, and I am working on some trigger mechanisms. It's always interesting. Geez, I should get a better screwdriver, but being that I don't feel like stopping the live stream, because I'm going and I'm not stopping until this thing is done, or I get, or something else comes up, it's going. Oh, wait, I'm stupid. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There we go, that's better. So, something you'll learn is that righty-tighty, lefty-loosey doesn't always apply, but with these old Lionels, it applies. So, try and pay attention to that rule.
Yeah, I've had a couple instances where it's either you get a small screw on the inside of your locomotive, or you get this gargantuan screw.
Well, right now I'm working with what looks like a drywall screw, essentially. Simple screw.
Interesting.
All right. This thing is a pain in the absolute rear end because I have to get this in here while trying not to break anything, even though it'll probably be broken anyway, or is broken. This is the reverser unit. This is what I have a feeling is crapped out on me. So,
oh yeah, 664. Do you want to tell the people who are watching about the toll-mass partnership that's going on?
Okay, so me and 6039 are going to essentially be working together on his series Thomas and Friend. I might be doing some voicing and giving him ideas for characters, and he'll be essentially making the videos.
I mean, I believe it was actually, I forget exactly why I chose Kraft Mac and Cheese for purse. I just sort of chose it because I was like, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna do this. It'll work.
Hey, Ethan, WD-40. I don't know if you necessarily want to use it. I'm going to be using Lionel multi-purpose lubricant. So, who really knows? WD-40 does something to trains. These old trains should be able to handle it, but I don't have a can of WD-40. I'm thinking about maybe trying something on something less valuable, dollar store lubricant. Jeez, look at this mess. Well, here's a reverser. It's a plunger mechanism, essentially. Coils go around probably a plunger system, and that
Flush.
Yeah, flush, and that will allow the engine to go forward to reverse. Jeez. Okay. I just have to force this to do it. Actually, that might be it. No kidding. Are you telling me that that's it? Plunger was stuck like 10 minutes ago, but I don't know if you could see it, but it's moving. That either means
Plungers be like
That means of two things. I broke it or it's working again.
Plungers be like, foom, 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 job done.
Anyway, I still have to clean the crap out of this thing before I put it back together to make it work the right way. So, again, you'll find a lot of my stuff comes from the dollar store. Dollar store Q-tips, can't go wrong. And that's just a little bit of grease. This was a white Q-tip, by the way.
I've been
Ethan,
scrolling around on Google for such a long time now, just looking for an image of the side of a GTW 080's cab because I need the percentage.
Ethan, trumpet oil or valve oil, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Some light lubricant would work for probably two things: the rods on the side of the engine and the contacts, everything like that. That's probably just about what it'd work for. Because these little suckers, I should call them, are a real pain in the rear. They require heavy oil. They're over the course of their lifetime, they probably use about as much real oil as a steam engine would. These also tend to last a little bit longer than a steam engine would. But I have no doubt that this is the oil that this thing left the factory with. So, move that over here. Ethan, plungers like my third ex-wife. Always starts up when you do not want it to. It never starts up when you want it to. Haha. That's accurate. That is accurate. Yeah. I can't really comment on that. That's just about accurate. Ah, jeez. 6039. Do you think rubbing alcohol would work on this?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it could. I'm not too experienced with repairing O-scale stuff. I mean, more so HO is my thing.
Just think of it as an oversized HO engine that runs with 3 rails. Most prototypical. Most prototypical thing on Earth. 3 rails. Expired rubbing alcohol. Expired rubbing alcohol. You can get it at the store for a cheap price, and it's cheap.
Cheap.
That's really about it. I use it for everything. That includes my HO scale, which I do have some. Actually, I can't really show it to you guys right now, but my Christmas tree topped with an HO train because I ran out of stars. So I'm using an HO scale Burlington Northern F unit. Okay, well, that's part of it. I should probably just remove this.
You're probably hearing all my very annoying mouse click on your side, right?
Yeah, I could hear it over here, but it's really no big deal.
I keep forgetting to mute my mic again, so that just keeps happening. So occasionally you're going to have to hear my mouse clicks as I work on this project.
Now, Grand Trunk Western 6039 UNC, you have a website. Would you like to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, sure. My site is called Grand Trunk Western Works. It is a freeware site for trains. You can download a lot of good reskins off of there, a couple of horn sounds and stuff like that. I mean, generally, if you're just interested in trains, you'll find what's on there to be very interesting. I believe on there is... I believe my site is the home of the only publicly available Canadian Pacific 2816 model and Santa Fe 5000 model.
Very interesting.
And also the home of the GTW 1Cs.
Well, your channel is Grand Trunk Western 6039 UNC, so it does seem kind of accurate that your website would have something about a Grand Trunk Western UNC.
Yeah, generally, my entire life I've been into the GTW. Except, I mean, a couple of years ago I learned about the railroad. I mean, like, when I was, like, in 4th grade or something.
That's when you really
when I got
learned.
my
Yeah,
in
because I'm sure all of us rail fans have known a little bit about the railroad, and then forgot it for a little while, and then came back and was like, oh crap, that's how that works. I know I used to think that F units were babyface units. No, not babyface. Baldwin is only babyface. Ethan, you should take a model train and put some wings and an elevator on it. The elevator for a plane, by the way. Well, I could probably do that. I mean, I have a couple of really fast engines and an extra can motor. So, I could try it. Might have to do that. Jeez, how do I get in there besides my... You know what? Screwdriver. I mean...
What you need is a cheeseburger backpack.
At least this isn't Bachman.
If it's anything that is Bachman, then it is insert Kermit with his very ticked off face.
Accurate. If you are familiar with my channel, you may know the Bachman I-10SA, which is buried under, well, I can't say its name, but let's see. There you go. That's the I-10SA there. That's essentially my main, well, my newest N scale thing, and it's from the 80s. Everything else is probably from 70s-ish era.
And look at that, another example of me forgetting to turn off my mic. You know, for that, now I'm going to have to play the fat controller theme.
Oh, jeez. Ethan, I could probably find schematics for you. That'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know. For Christmas, I'm hoping that I could get some old broken Lionel so that I could make more live streams like this.
For Christmas this year, I want an EMD steel bell.
Yeah. I bet you that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Just make a mount for it and put it in my truck and drive around with.
Take note of what color these are.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was supposed to be playing the fat controller theme.
Oh jeez.
Here we go. Oh, come on, load faster. It's loading. It's taking a very long time to load, and it is stuck.
Taking a very long time to load.
It's like Windows XP. And it's also like my brain. Takes forever to load.
If it's not trains.
Yeah.
Expired rubbing alcohol. The workforce of the railroad.
I believe my fastest record, not my fastest record, just my general record in general for like trains content creation was I got one reskin / kit bash done in like an hour and 30 minutes.
Was that the North Pole Express reskin?
No, that took like a lot longer than that. But the engine was an undecorated 260.
Ethan, or cut out some foam board wings for you. That would be interesting. I mean, I could probably get a propeller or something like that working just off of what I have. These old motors, they're not the most reliable things on Earth. By the way, the motor in this is called a Pullmore motor. They're like the most unreliable things on the planet. I have a Reading T1 that has a Pullmore in it, and it'll be going 5 scale miles an hour 1 minute and 20 the next without me changing the throttle. All right. Well, you can kind of see the change there. This is the one that was cleaned, and the other two have yet to be cleaned. So I think I've probably got a good half an hour of work cut out for me just with Q-tips. Well, it's getting shinier. Rubbing alcohol works miracles. Sometimes, when it works. All right. Just occurred to me that I know the year this was built. I don't know if you could really see it hiding in there, but it says from dimensions. You can't read it
and
because
you
it's
know
upside
what? I
down.
forgot to turn my
1982.
microphone.
Fun Dimensions 1982. So this is an oldie, but it's been running reliably, so I'm confident I could get it running a little more reliably. I'll have to use the magical paper to block out the camera when I go and take it so that I could test it on my test track.
If the Fat Controllers theme doesn't want to play for me, I'll force it to play.
Oh, jeez.
Because I keep forgetting to turn my mic off. So here you go.
Ethan, I will be back in 15 minutes. I have to go sand something. Well, that's a good reason to leave, I guess. I'll be here working on this still.
And I'll still be here too.
Jeez, it's actually somewhat coming clean. Keep in mind, this is probably a good 30, 40 years of grime on this locomotive itself. So
how many other people are on the stream right
now? That is a good question. 2 watching. Probably me and you.
I mean, I'm not watching right now. I'm listening because I can't have the Hangouts app open and YouTube open at the same time.
I have an interesting something going. I have a Kindle Fire with the video playing over to my right off camera. And then I have the computer, which I'm using to film this. So it makes for an interesting combination, but it's working.
This is very weird. For some reason, I searched up RBMN on the download station for trains, and what came up was a British locomotive.
I'm pretty sure RBMN is a Reading Blue Mountain Northern American thing. Oh, geez, look at how clean that came. As opposed to the other two. Still got work to do, but
I wonder if 425's aux tender is available for trains.
You could probably find anything if you go look enough.
I mean, for a while I was looking for so hard for a 080 tank engine, and recently I came across it courtesy of Julian Trainkid, who is a member of Grand Trunk Western Works.
Did he publish the model, or was it somebody else's private?
It was someone else's model that he made a video on. I believe it was actually one of the first steam locomotives for trains. But
the San Juan Ghost Train.
Would never have found it.
San Juan Ghost Train, correct?
Yeah, San Juan Ghost Train, aka the Norfolk and Western W6.
Well, it's far cry from what it was. It's not near perfect. And I still have 2 more to go after this. So hey, 6039.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
You left the mic on again.
Oh, here comes the Fat Controller theme again.
For those of you who don't know 6039 series, Tomas and Friend, it's basically a big spoof on Thomas the Tank Engine. The Fat Controller is Sir Topham Hatt, if that's his name, correctly remembering.
I think
I
so,
think
yeah.
so. It might have just been Topham Hatt, but I don't know. But
No, it's Sir Topham Hatt.
gotcha. Running low on alcohol. I have to stick my entire Q-tip in there.
I mean, I basically have to remember that because when I was little, I watched like every single classic season of Thomas.
What rail fan didn't? What rail fan didn't?
Yeah, and that's why I remember literally, for some reason, for me, one of the most nostalgic things were the episodes with the diesels in them.
Yeah. Were there any Alco diesels or Fairbanks Morse
No.
models? Ah, dang.
I mean, nowadays we could probably recreate Thomas except with American engines.
Yeah, I mean, we have an 06, we have 060 tank engines, we have 040s, everything really.
I just realized I have a model of an American 040 for trains. It's time to make Purse!
For those of you who don't know, Purse is obsessed with Kraft mac and cheese. After the live stream, please go and check out Grand Trunk Western 6039 UNC's channel for complete explanations of what the heck we're talking about in this live stream. Or if you really feel like it.
I'm going to make Purse scream Kraft mac and cheese in the mic. Hold on a moment.
Or if you really feel like it, open a new tab and do it there. All right. Well, it's coming clean, so it's a step ahead of where we were. Hopefully, once I add some fresh oil, and by fresh, multi-purpose lubricant, by Lionel, we should be okay. Well, that's about as clean as it'll get. So, time to work on getting the other ones.
I just said something to you, but I just realized I had my mic muted.
Yeah, mic was muted. Good job there.
Yay! It was muted for once, except it blocked me from saying what I had to say. So now, instead of playing the Fat Controller theme, I'm just going to blow my Lionel air whistle, just because.
This Canadian Pacific switcher, no sound at all besides the sound of an old Pulmar motor. I'll probably
make a motor going.
I'll probably be doing a Christmas running session using this locomotive and probably the 2101.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, today the Grand Trunk Western Works Christmas release came out. So for those of you who are interested, please consider checking it out.
Ah, geez, this one's being a little bit stubborn. I have gone through probably about 20 Q-tips in 15 minutes. Sorry, I really can't show you guys what the heck's going on. It's kind of hard to clean while I'm using the Q-tip and commutator.
For a moment, I was recording a voice line for the next Tomas episode.
Yeah?
And then I realized I left my speaker on.
Heh.
And then I heard you talking in the background, and it was the funniest thing because your voice was like really, really deep due to the audio effects I did.
All right, welcome back, Ethan. How was sanding?
All right, 664. I'm going to mute my mic for a moment so I can do some Tomas recording.
All right.
And in between clips, I will pop back in, or whenever you need me, I'll pop back in.
All right. I am stopping work on the artillery again, so I'm going to make another 4-arm crossbow, but really powerful. Also, sanding was okay, but I need to get done. Yeah. Having something sitting on your desk for a good month is not the most pleasurable experience. Here's a good example. Nothing related to O scale. It's actually N scale, which is 2 or 3 scales smaller than O scale. But this thing has been sitting on my desk since I got it because I tried to take it apart to see what the heck was wrong, and the frame broke in 3 different pieces. So, tiny problem there. But so hopefully I could get something to fix that. Super glue might work, but I already tried it. A different brand super glue. Didn't work. It split right back in 2. 3. Split back in 3. So, besides Ethan, is anybody else on the live? Get some PVC glue, maybe, or some hot glue. Yeah, those may work. PVC glue is probably the best out of the 2 options, but I don't necessarily know if I'll be able to get to the hardware store in order to get some in time. So that's kind of the basket case locomotive, but the motor runs better than everything else. I could just put 2 little wires and have it probably about half throttle, and it'll go and go and go and go. No quitting. It's getting close enough. Gonna have to really work on this one because this one is not wanting to come cleaner. And at the same time, I'm trying not to break any of these, because if I break them, well, more parts I'll have to buy. I'm sure this is a lot easier than working on post-war, but who really knows? Maybe melt the two pieces together. Like soldering, I don't have a soldering pen yet, but yet being keyword. I would have to try that. That would be interesting, and it could keep the electrical conductivity of all the pieces. So, just keeping my fingers crossed that I could get one. And one more thing. The pieces broke right on the axles, so if I were to glob everything everywhere, I wouldn't be able to run the thing. Too much friction on the bearings.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright, welcome back, 6039. How was Tomas and friends?
Today, I'm going to be reading a 4chan article. Yay! Okay, so this one is called Number 15, Burger King Foot Lettuce.
Oh, gosh.
You want in your Burger King burger someone's foot fungus. But as it turns out, it may be what you get. A 4chaner uploaded a photo announcedly to the site showcasing his feet in a plastic bin of lettuce with the statement, "This is the lettuce you eat at Burger King." Admittedly, he had shoes on, but that's even worse.
So that's where Burger King gets their lettuce. In all seriousness, though, I hope not. But
No, it was just some fake thing.
yeah, I've heard that meme going around at different places lately. What effect was that?
The purse effect. Right now, I'm just trying to get help for purse.
Probably not a bad decision.
I think in this episode, basically the stupid truck is going to be holding the Burger King foot lettuce, and purse is going to be rambling about this.
Accurate. Lost that earlier. Wondering where it went. Just the bolt that goes to the engine. Kind of important if I want to make it run the right way. Okay, so... jeez. Don't pinch yourself in the pliers, kids. Or anybody for that matter. Hurts a lot. Better than it was. Let's see if that plunger still wants to work for us. Keeping our fingers crossed that I did this the right way and that I'm able to get this back where it all belongs the right way. We should have a working engine after I put oil in it. So the oil I'm using is Lionel multi-purpose lubricant for model trains, appropriately named and made by the model train company. Now, I currently do not have an oil that I could use, so I'm just basically using this lubricant for everything that moves, except for the stuff that needs oil. That stuff I actually have to get a can of oil for. I can't use vehicle or motor oil. That wouldn't exactly work. Model trains and cars, although they may act the same sometimes, are actually very different machines. And now I have to get that somehow slammed into the gears. Oh, it's running smoother already. At least we don't have a quartering issue. Well, it's grease. And it's working. Ethan, turns out I have not looked at the time in a while, so have any suggestions on things that I can make in less than 3 hours? Are you able to make those ultralights in 3 hours? Alrighty. Wow. It's in there. Time to slap everything back together and pray for the best. $60.39, you there?
Yeah, I was just recording another Tomas clip. Hey, here it is so far. I haven't added the music yet, but hold on, phones. Here. Oh wait, no, I messed up. I went to the wrong part. You just heard Purse screaming for only a second. Here.
Hey guys, Purse here. Today I'm gonna be reading a 4chan article. Yay! Okay, so this one is called Number 15, Burger King Foot Lettuce. The last thing.
Well, there goes everything. I'm gonna have to put the paper of no use on for a minute so that I could get down.
You.
Alright, I'll wait for this to catch up with the other thing. I have to go get a couple of washers that are pretty critical to the engine. I have to go get those.
Okay,
They
I'll
fell.
be here.
They fell and they're on the ground. $60.39, you mind entertaining the crowd? Well,
Okay, I can play Tomas.
or waiting music.
Purse here. Today I'm gonna be.
Those ultralights take 30 minutes. I might make a couple of them. Good choice.
Okay, so this one is
There it
called
is.
Number.
Found
Did
them.
you find it?
Found them.
Okay, good. So now I don't have to play the Tomas thing anymore because right now I'm trying to track down the thing I need.
Alrighty.
It's in the downloads folder. In this episode, this is where Purse blows up again.
Again?
Yeah, it's a recurring thing. Him blowing up.
Alright, get that back because I apparently screwed something up while I was gone. Jeez, brushings. How do I... Jeez. Jeez, and I still have to get the... Is that purse or a trash compactor?
Hold on, time to mute the mic again because I have to record again.
Alright, one quick question, 6039. You work
Yeah.
on engines a little more often than I do, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you suggest that I clean these, I think, copper brushings before I put them back in the engine?
I mean, if they're dirty, I suggest soaking them in soapy water.
They are black.
If you soak them in soapy water, then they'll get cleaned up.
I have to get it out of the engine first. So,
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic for a moment so I can go ahead and record again.
once I find out where my tweezers ran off to. Well, I just had them, and now they disappeared on me. Oh, there they are. Hiding underneath my camera.
Okay, I'm going to mute my mic for a moment, and I will turn it back on when I'm done.
Got it. So what I'm probably going to have to do to clean these is hold them with the pliers and use rubbing alcohol to clean them off. It seemed to work for the commutator, so it should work for these, being that these are essentially what brush up against the commutator. Anyway. Praying that it works. A vise would definitely help with this, but being that I don't have a vise at my desk, it's just me, myself, and I working on this. Good song if you haven't heard of it. Yeah, it's coming clean with the expired alcohol, so I must be doing something right. Alright, clean this off.
So basically, in this next episode, Diesel Doozle Tin Can, he shows up. He's fed up with Purse being loud and disturbing him sleeping. So what he does is he puts a curse on Purse. That unintentionally rhymed. And it makes his water level drop to 0. And here's the audio segment from that section.
Oh, wow! Look at that! My water level's low! Yeah!
That's just about accurate.
Yeah.
Alright. Jeez. Well, this brushing seems to be quite a bit better than it was, except for the top where it came in contact with the motor. But that's coming clean. I'm gonna have a mountain of these Q-tips by the time I'm done with this. Just in need of disposal. Alright, put that down and dry this off, hopefully.
So as for the sad song, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse it and make it really loud.
So you think instead of Purse actually refilling his water level, he just screams yay and explodes.
Yep, he doesn't bother. He doesn't even bother to refill. He doesn't bother to open his injector.
British tank engines, final answer.
Oh yeah, the sad song.
Now it sounds like something you'd hear at a fair or carnival.
What?
Now it sounds like something you would hear at a fair or carnival.
Yeah, I'm going to increase the bass on it and make it better. I need to add in Tin Can's theme now. I have a lot of character themes prepared. I just haven't really used them.
Do you have the character
so far,
themes?
Angry Diesel's the only character to actually have a theme.
Purse
But
is,
Tin Can does have a theme.
well, at least that's good.
Time to just drag in his horn, because his horn is needed before the thing happens. You
Custom
drag
horn?
his horn.
Custom horn?
Yeah, Tin Can's horn is custom. Why the heck is it playing in reverse? Oh, dang it, I just realized I put Tin Can's horn in the wrong spot.
That's his horn?
His horn is this really loud thing. It was recorded from a water bottle that I have that squeaks like this.
Well, how many of you have heard a water bottle do that?
Let's see if I got... And then move the track forward here. Oh, come on. Why can't I move the track forward? Is the track landlocked there? I think it's landlocked.
Well, it's definitely much cleaner than it was. So, these brushings are coming along. These are what come in contact with this part of the motor, so keeping them clean helps keep the motor clean.
I'm trying to get his horn volume levels to be balanced. Now time to drag in his theme and get that matched up. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Still alive, aren't I?
Yeah.
So. Just about done with this brushing. Well, it's as good as it's gonna get, and I didn't destroy it while I was cleaning it. So, time to try being the keyword of choice, and put this thing back together in one piece.
I just have to repeat the song a couple times. Let's see. I think one more time should do.
Alright, I'm going to turn this thing around. If it does not run, add some rocket motors. I think that'd help it go a little bit faster. Then I might be able to put it outside and make it shovel the sidewalks for me. So if I were to put
Square,
rocket boosters
square,
on
square,
this,
square.
Ethan,
Square.
I would be able to shovel the snow with this thing. That would be fun. Just seeing a tiny little O-scale model train just rocketing its way across my backyard. That'd be funny. Alright, I just have one last screw before I could try this thing. Now I have to use the hulking big screwdriver. Alright. So let's put this guy in here. Yeah, because it will launch into the snow and melt it because of the motors. Then I wouldn't even have to shovel the snow. The snow would be melted. The snow would get a big no you.
No, yo.
Let's see if I can get my smaller screwdriver in there. Seems to fit, actually.
Taste the purses theme again.
Well, let's see. Will it work? I have to put the magical paper back on again before I move everything down. Alright.
What?
Alright, I just have to move some stuff around before I could, Alright, let's see. Alright. Well, now I should be able to move this
Editing the
without
audio of Tomas episodes is really
wrecking
long
everything.
and boring.
And I'm going to put this magical no you paper on.
The magical no you paper.
While I go and get ready to set everything up so that I can see if this jiffy repair has worked or not. Alright. Alright. There we go. So I'm going to be using this basic transformer. You can kind of see all the other trains I have. Here's the little Penty F unit, and I have a Jeep 38 off in the foreground. But let's see.
I heard a buzz.
Well, it's supposed to buzz. Great. So apparently it got stopped and locked in a neutral position. Just great. Well, hit it a couple of times. I think that might work. Nope, shorted it out. Nothing's on fire, right?
Earlier, I thought my MTH, no, not my MTH, one of my Lionel cars was on fire, but it wasn't.
Yeah, fire and trains don't really mix well, except for on the real things.
Yeah, I mean on real steam locomotives, of course. All right, I'll be right back. I have to go grab my charger real quick.
All right, something shorted out in the system because One, the motor's starting to get hot. But everything is moving. Ah, great. Well, say something nice. Say some nice things to it. Maybe it will run.
You're a good boy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
I don't have many nice things to say to this thing at the moment. It's kind of being a poop. Please work. You're a pretty Canadian Pacific. Yeah, I'll probably have to take this apart more in depth if I can. Jeez, this is gonna be an interesting live stream. At least I could supply an interesting live stream. Anyway, I have to put the magical no you paper on it again till I get it up to my desk where I have been working. All right. Well, I could try yelling at it and plugging the transformer back in.
This Tomas episode already
Work,
doesn't get
dang
audio
you.
sound perfect.
Well, it's not working. I tried yelling. I tried saying something nice. I don't know. Back to square one, taking this thing apart again. Alrighty. Maybe one of the connections is loose. Yeah, that could be it, but that wouldn't explain why this is buzzing. Because this wouldn't buzz if it didn't have power going to it.
This audio already sounds perfect.
Alright, let me see how I could get into this thing without killing it. Because it's not looking too much of a good idea. Or high probability that I won't kill it if I... Alright, maybe that'll work. Start. This is my absolute first time cracking one of these suckers open. I imagined it would be easy to get this thing to work. I have been incredibly wrong in so many different ways that it's kind of sad to say. If all else fails, I might have to take this thing apart. Like, all the way. But that contact's soldered in. That contact, and that contact are soldered in. Those two are soldered in. Everything is soldered on this locomotive. Good craftsmanship. So, I don't see why. Alright, let's see. It goes up all the way. Okay. Righty then. So that's riveted in. So maybe if I could. Plunger mechanism's crap old. One of the wires are bad. These wires are the original wires that it left the factory with. I have absolutely no doubt of it. But I'm not necessarily how sure one of them being broken are. I could try and pull the transformer up here, or get some wires hooked up to it so that I can make it, if I could find wires. Have everything at my desk. The wires. I'll try putting the I'm probably gonna have to put the no use screen back on.
The ultimate no use screen.
Yeah. And we'll see where it took me this time. What tab it opened me up in. Jeez. Now I'm in the Lionel Parts tab. You could see what might be coming up. Let's see, where could I put this? I can put this anywhere. Okay, great. I'll hold it. 60, 30, 90. There still?
Yeah, I'm here still. I'm working on a front end picture of Purse.
Yes, get the transformer. See what does not work. Yeah, I have the transformer. I mean, at least it's not an old ZW, which is what I had to use when my Union Pacific decided no U to this one and didn't want to use the weak controller from a starter set, which is this one. They call it an 80-watt toy transformer. The device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules, words I really don't care for. All right. I have to get my power strip again. I'll just again put the no U up. Admittedly, it's just a piece of paper. But oh crud. They like soldered themselves together. This thing is powerful. Thing is, everything is interwired with this. So if it doesn't work on the track, it's probably not going to work up here, which it's not. And I don't feel like killing myself with this thing. So I guess I can make room for it over here. And so long as this transformer doesn't fall and destroy literally everything, we should be in business. But I want to know why this isn't working, because it's not supposed to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Oh, jeez. All right, Ethan, is there something wrong with the motors? No, the motor's fine. It's probably the plunger mechanism. All right, Ethan, do you know anything about plunger mechanisms? Electric plunger mechanisms, and how the heck I could fix it? Because I will likely be here for a while if I don't find something that will work. All right, take that off. Maybe. It's just an electric plunger mechanism. I'm really hoping that this thing isn't screwed up, because then I'll be screwed up, because this is... important. Okay. Maybe if I move that again. Jeez. It's like a little chainsaw. Oh, I bet you that's what happened. So there's a part of the motor, this little part, or not motor, plunger mechanism, this little part right here. It's bent it off at an angle. I bet you that it's not supposed to be bent off at an angle. And that's probably what caused this thing to quit. What is the model number of the train so I can look up the mechanics for the train? It says 51-3 on the shell, but it's probably not 51-3. Not on the engine itself, probably on the box, which I don't currently have in here with me. So I won't be able to get it. But Lionel, it's probably 8264 if I had to guess anything. 8264 snowplow. It'd probably be classified under. So I either just did a whole lot of good or a whole lot of bad to this.
It would be bad if a bad was done.
It would be bad because it would be my fault. You know what? I bet you that's our problem. I think I could see the problem. We have an issue where something plastic is broken, probably within the plunger mechanism, just from use over the time. So let's see if that actually did something or not. Somewhat like where it was. Just have it sitting here like that for now. Pull over the controller. Turn it up somewhat. I hope you guys saw that. Because this thing just threw up a spark show. Shoot. Ethan, I cannot find anything on the schematics. I don't know. Maybe go back about a minute in the stream. You'll see what actually happened to the engine when I put wires to it. There's a reason why I'm gonna name this thing Old and Sparky, but that was ridiculous. It almost, jeez. Okay. So if that's I will probably have to get a new reversing unit for this. That might have to be the end of our live stream. If I can't get anything to fix this, I might not be able to but I think I understand how this mechanism worked and how it broke. I could see the busted part on the inside. And when I move it back down, it's still got spring pushing it back up, so I don't think there's any going back with this. If I had to give a diagnosis for this engine, I'd say it's a goner. Until I could get something. Until I could get something to fix it. The reversing unit. Ethan, something is probably loose or fried. Is it getting caught on something? Well, geez, I hope not. It might help if I reinstall this, because this is what was actually holding it together to the shell, I should say. So I'll try that again and see if it starts sparking left and right again. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if this little voodoo magic has worked or if I'll catch myself on fire.
Voodoo magic.
I'm going to put this at barely any so that put that there. It's saying something shorted out. Ethan, is it getting caught on something? Well, I'm putting the wires through the pinholes, which would essentially be no different than if I had it on the track. So it is shorting out. So I probably screwed something up in here.
664.
Yeah.
Keyword there.
Yeah. Well, dang.
That sounds like a weird foul horn.
Yeah. Well, this engine's gonzo. There is probably nothing I could do to get it fixed, except for a new part, which I currently don't have. Might I point out. But, well, it fails. At least it had a good running life. Shelf display. Spark show. Those blue things you could see are actually sparks, and I prefer to keep them away from my model trains and my desk, more importantly. Yeah, well, anyway, unfortunately we could not fix this Canadian Pacific, but it was a pretty good stream. It was nice to have 6039 here. I look forward to hopefully having him on a couple of other streams that I may do in the future. But
yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, this thing is pretty much screwed to the highest level of I can't fix it. If all else fails, 6039, do you think SMT mainline would be good at fixing O-scale? Oh, wait. I think I might have just done something, because it's now moving smoothly. I heard something click. Ah, geez. Moment of prayer before we do this. One last time. All right. Yeah, it's shortened. And it's burning. It smells burnt. Nothing's burnt yet, but I'm not taking any more chances with this thing. 6039, thank you for tuning in. And
No
Ethan, thanks for
problem.
watching and talking in the chat. Nice having everyone here. For now, this is DLNW 664 Productions. Signing off with a broken Canadian Pacific. I'll fix it someday. Signing off.